Chosen one, stop for a second. If you scroll past this now, you may never understand why this connection keeps breaking you and pulling you back at the same time. This is no accident. It is no coincidence that you are here listening to these words right now. The divine has orchestrated this moment, and God Himself is speaking directly to your heart. There's someone on your mind, a face that flashed in your thoughts the very moment you saw this video. And let me tell you this, it's not your imagination, nor is it by chance. This is a sacred warning. Do not ignore it. Do not dismiss it as just another fleeting thought, because what you decide in this moment could alter the very path your destiny takes. I invite you to open your spirit wide, to be fully present, because what you are about to hear is not just a message. This is a divine calling. This is about your purpose, your alignment, and the future God has laid out for you. Understand this. The enemy is trembling at the very thought of what will happen if you hold on. This is why this message has found its way to you. The moment you decide to ignore this, you risk missing what's about to change everything. If you feel your spirit stirring even slightly right now, don't ignore that. Stay with me. What you're about to hear will explain why this connection refuses to leave your life. Now, before we move forward, I ask you to make a declaration. If you feel this message stirring your soul, hit the like button. It might seem small, but it seals your agreement with the divine work unfolding before you. If you haven't yet, subscribe, so you never miss what God has prepared for you here. Drop the number 777 below to declare your faith. Declare that you will not surrender what God has entrusted to you. Like this video as a silent agreement with the divine will unfolding before you. By writing it, you declare, I am not lost, I am found, and I will not surrender what God has entrusted to me. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear will not only shift how you view this person, but also how you see the powerful hand of God moving in your life. The real warning begins now. Chosen one, it is time you fully grasp something that many overlook. God does not orchestrate meaningless encounters. The moment your life intersected with theirs, it was no accident. It wasn't just a passing encounter, a fleeting chapter in your book. It was a divine appointment written before the beginning of time. Take a moment to reflect. Can you remember the very first time your paths crossed? Perhaps it was a conversation that felt oddly familiar, or a look that went deeper than any words could reach. Maybe it was a sudden stirring in your spirit, whispering, "Pay attention. This is no ordinary meeting." That was heaven's signature on this connection, a connection that was always meant to lead you into battle. Not because it lacks value, but because it carries profound purpose. There are connections that pass through our lives like fleeting shadows at sunset, but then there are others that leave a permanent mark on your soul. This person is not just a passerby on your journey. No, this is someone intricately tied to your purpose. Their presence in your life is designed to challenge you, to shape you, and to push you toward the destiny that God has ordained for you. This is why the bond feels so unique, so heavy, so unshakable. Even when trials threaten to tear it apart, it stands strong because it was never rooted in human intention. It was founded on divine design. Let's be clear, this is not about fleeting romance or a fantasy. This is about purpose. God does not connect his chosen ones to people by accident. There are times when the person standing before you holds the keys to doors that you cannot open by yourself. Sometimes they are the mirror that reflects parts of your soul you've avoided, but must confront to grow. At other times, they are the one God has appointed to walk beside you when the storms come, ensuring that the promise inside you doesn't fade in solitude. Every conversation, every conflict, every moment of reconciliation is part of a tapestry far grander than emotions alone can capture. And here lies the mystery. The enemy recognizes the design, even when you don't. He understands the power of two souls aligned under God's command. He knows what happens when purpose and unity collide. That's why the attacks grow fiercer, why confusion creeps in, why doubts echo louder when you're alone. The more the enemy fights, the more clear the evidence becomes. He doesn't waste his efforts on meaningless connections. He only resists what truly threatens his kingdom. Chosen one, let this truth resonate deep within you. When God writes a story, the enemy will fight it with everything he has. That's why you feel the resistance, the weight of doubt that tries to push you away from what you know is meant for you. It's why you've asked yourself, why does this hurt so much? Why does walking away feel wrong, but staying feels unbearable at the same time? If it's from God, if it's his design, then it hurts because it matters. It's heavy because it is holy. If the connection didn't carry eternal weight, it would have dissolved with ease, fading quietly into nothingness. But the fact that you're still here, still connected to this person in spirit, still feeling bound together despite every storm you've faced, that is divine proof of purpose. Can you see it now? That first encounter wasn't merely the beginning of a relationship, it was the spark of an assignment. Heaven embedded something powerful within this bond that neither of you fully understand yet, and the enemy will stop at nothing to destroy it before you realize its true potential. That's why you must hold on, not passively, not blindly, but with discernment, with prayer, with unwavering faith, knowing that what God designs cannot be undone by chaos. You are standing on sacred ground. This is no mistake. Heaven orchestrated this, the connection that feels unshakable. It's not chance, it's divine intention. The moment you realize this, everything about the battles you face will begin to make sense. Let me ask you this. If God took the time to weave your paths together, would you dare to treat it as ordinary? Or will you now see it as the battlefield it truly is? The one the enemy fears you will win. Open your eyes, chosen one. This battle is far deeper than misunderstandings, personal clashes, or even silence. It's far more calculated than what meets the eye. The word makes it clear. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness. The tension, the discouragement, the sudden urge to quit, none of it comes from the person in front of you. These are subtle seeds planted by the enemy, hoping you will surrender the very covenant God has joined. The enemy's tactic is not direct destruction, it's subtle, slow erosion. He magnifies the smallest of problems, twisting them into seemingly insurmountable mountains. He takes one disagreement and turns it into a narrative of failure. He brings up past wounds disguised as present truths, making you think history is doomed to repeat itself. His strategy is not brute force. It's about wearing you down, little by little, until you willingly let go of what God has bound together. But here's the danger. If you surrender now, you're not just walking away from a person, you're walking away from a divine mission. This connection isn't just about companionship, it's about kingdom purpose. There are battles you were never meant to fight alone, callings you were never meant to carry without help. Heaven aligned you with this person for a reason. If you walk away in this season, you're walking away from the very assignment tied to your union. The enemy knows this, and that's why he fights relentlessly. He knows that if you remain, you'll produce fruit that will terrify him. If you leave, he wins without lifting another finger. Think about it. How many times have you considered giving up only to feel an ache deep inside, like something greater was pulling you back? That ache is your spirit recognizing that this is not an emotional battle, it's a battle for destiny. You can feel it in your bones. The fight is bigger than the two of you. The enemy is not fighting your relationship. He's fighting the ripple effect it will create if it survives. When two chosen ones unite in faith, they become a weapon against darkness, breaking cycles, healing bloodlines, and releasing blessings not just for themselves, but for generations to come. That is why the enemy is desperate to break you before you even realize the power you carry together. Chosen one, I want you to ask yourself this question with pure honesty. Is the voice urging you to walk away truly from God, or is it from the one who fears your union? God never speaks in fear. He does not whisper hopelessness into your ear. The shepherd's voice always brings peace, even in moments of correction, direction even in confusion, clarity in silence. If the voice you're hearing is pushing you towards quitting, pushing you towards defeat, then you must discern its source carefully. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you in one blow. He just needs to convince you that surrender is wisdom. But listen closely. If it's from God, it will never feel like defeat. But deep down, you know the difference. Do not be deceived. The storm you are facing is not proof that this connection is weak. It's proof that it is powerful. If your connection didn't matter, if it wasn't carrying weight in the spiritual realm, the enemy would leave you alone. He doesn't waste resources on what isn't a threat. The fact that you are under attack proves the power of this connection. If you let go now, you're handing over victory not just over your relationship, but over the assignment God entrusted to you through it. This is where the urgency rises. You cannot afford to surrender, not when the stakes are this high. Your perseverance is not just about love. It's about obedience to the one who brought this person into your life with divine intention. If you walk away now, you will never know what would have been unlocked had you stayed. But if you endure, if you hold on, you will one day look back and realize that every battle was a setup for breakthrough. Let this truth sink in. The tension you feel is not a sign to quit. It's evidence that you are close to something the enemy is terrified of. The attacks are loud because the purpose is louder. Let me ask you again, whose voice are you listening to? Is it the voice of God, who designed your future, or the enemy, who is terrified of it? Chosen one, hear this with the force of your spirit. The weight you are carrying right now, the conflict that feels unbearable, the silence that echoes like abandonment, and the pain that makes you question if it's worth it, all of these are not signs of failure, they are proof of purpose. Before every divine breakthrough, there is always a battle. This isn't just your struggle, it's a pattern that runs through all of Scripture. Think of Joseph, a young man with dreams given directly by God. He was betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. For years, he was confined, and it must have seemed like the vision God gave him was a cruel joke. But what Joseph didn't see in the dungeon was that the prison was the final stage before the palace. Every day of suffering, every moment of testing, was preparing him to carry the authority he was destined for. The trial wasn't evidence of God abandoning him. It was evidence that his purpose was too powerful to be birthed without resistance. Or consider David, anointed as king while still a shepherd boy. The oil of destiny was poured over his head, but instead of being crowned, he found himself running for his life, hunted by Saul, hiding in caves. In those caves, he learned to worship in the dark, to lead men in battle, and to depend on God in ways a palace never could teach him. The hiding wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And then there was Job, a man who was righteous in the eyes of God, yet stripped of everything: his family, wealth, health, and dignity. His friends mocked him. His wife told him to curse God and die. In the depths of his suffering, Job asked the same questions you might be asking now. Why me? Why this? Why does heaven seem silent when I need it most? But the end of Job's story revealed the truth. God restored him, doubled his blessings, and used his testimony as a pillar of faith for generations to come. Job's suffering wasn't meaningless. It was proof that his faith was stronger than the fire. Can you see the pattern? Joseph's prison, David's cave, Job's ashes. These were stages of crushing, but here's the truth you need to hear. Before the breakthrough, the pain is always louder than the promise, and you're about to experience it. The conflict in your connection, the silence that makes you doubt, the pain that tempts you to quit, these are not accidents. They are the fires that refine you, the storms that confirm that you are carrying something the enemy desperately wants to destroy. The enemy doesn't waste his weapons on what has no future. He only targets what terrifies him. And the fact that your trials have been this intense, this relentless, is the evidence you've been seeking all along. Chosen one, hear me clearly. The storm you are facing right now is not a sign that God has forgotten you. On the contrary, it is a sign that He has chosen you for something greater. The resistance you feel is not an obstacle. It is the loudest confirmation that the promise is closer than ever. It's always the darkest before the dawn. The fiercest attacks happen when the enemy senses that his time is running out. And right now, the pressure you are feeling is not the end. It's the very sign that heaven's delivery is nearer than you can imagine. Before you decide this pain means God is absent, let me remind you of someone who almost quit one step before his breakthrough. Let me ask you this question that should burn in your heart until the next time we speak. If Joseph had quit in prison, if David had given up in the cave, if Job had cursed God in his suffering, would they have fulfilled their destinies? Of course not. And the same is true for you. This trial you are enduring is not the final chapter. It is the final test before the breakthrough. And here's the truth the enemy doesn't want you to see. This trial was never sent to break you. It was sent to expose what survives when everything else burns. It is proving your love, your faith, your endurance. And when the smoke clears, you will not only survive, you will rise with evidence that your purpose was always worth the fight. Let this truth sink into your spirit. When the trial is hottest, when the silence seems deafening, and the pain feels unbearable, dare to believe that you are standing on the threshold of glory. The fierceness of the battle only confirms that what awaits on the other side is greater than you could ever imagine. Chosen one, there is a danger even greater than the storm raging around you, and that is the temptation to quit too soon. Too many promises have been left unfulfilled, not because God failed, but because His people gave up before the appointed time. You are standing at that crossroads now. The temptation to walk away may feel heavy, almost reasonable. But let me tell you this, with the fire of truth in my voice: if you surrender now, you risk aborting the very promise God has been preparing for you in secret. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil. When it's covered with earth, it disappears from sight. Days pass, weeks pass, and the soil looks unchanged. In that silence, doubt creeps in. Maybe the seed is dead, maybe the soil is barren. But beneath the surface, unseen by your eyes, the roots are growing. Life is stirring. The unseen is working harder than the seen. If you dig up the seed because you can't see any progress, you kill the very miracle that was moments away from breaking through. This is what happens when you let frustration lead you to abandon what God is still working on. Just because you don't see change in the person, just because the situation feels stuck, it doesn't mean heaven is silent. God is the master gardener. He works in hidden places first, strengthening the roots before the fruit appears. And if you walk away now, you may never see the miracle that was just about to break through. Hear me. Progress in the kingdom is rarely obvious at first. It often hides in disguise. Silence does not mean absence. Delay does not mean denial. Confusion does not mean God has abandoned His plan. You may be standing in the waiting room of your miracle, but impatience is whispering that the door is locked. No, the door is not locked. It's simply not yet time. And if you give up now, you might walk away just one step, one prayer, one sunrise before your breakthrough. Let this truth echo in your soul. One day after you quit could have been the day of your miracle. One more sunrise, one more night of prayer, one more step of faith. That could have been the moment when everything shifted. The enemy knows this, which is why his greatest weapon is not always destruction. It is discouragement. If he can get you to quit, he never has to fight you again. Think about the times in your life when you almost gave up, when you thought it was over, and then something shifted. Those moments were not coincidences. They were proof that God rewards endurance. They are reminders that the harvest always comes, but only for those who refuse to dig up the seed. So I warn you now, do not walk away from what God is still building. The silence you hear is not emptiness. It is God building your future, brick by brick, in places your eyes can't see yet. The waiting you endure is not punishment, it is preparation. The pain you feel is not failure. It is proof that something is alive beneath the surface, pushing upward, getting ready to break through. And the enemy is terrified of that breakthrough. That's why quitting seems easier than ever right now. But you were not chosen to quit. You were chosen to endure. You were chosen to outlast the storm, to wait through the silence, to hold steady until the ground splits open and fruit is revealed. Do not let impatience write the end of a story that God has not finished. Do not trade a lifetime of promise for a moment of relief. And now, Ask yourself, if tomorrow was the day of your miracle, would you really want to walk away tonight? Chosen one, now that you understand the weight of this connection and the depth of the battle you are in, it's time to step into action. This is not a time to stand idle, hoping things will magically change. Heaven is calling you to engage in active warfare, but not with earthly weapons. The fight for what God has given you is spiritual, and only those who wield the tools of heaven will experience the victory. The first step is prayer, intentional, consistent, and focused prayer. Not the shallow kind that's uttered out of habit, but a prayer that grabs hold of heaven's power and refuses to let go until breakthrough comes. Every day, lift that person before God. Call their name in the secret place. Ask the Lord to cover their mind, their heart, their steps. Don't rehearse the problems in your mind, but speak blessings over them. Declare life where the enemy whispers death. Speak clarity where confusion has settled. Declare healing where wounds have lingered. When you shift your focus from complaints to blessings, you are partnering with heaven instead of feeding into the enemy's lies. Next, resist the urge to fight with your words. Arguments, accusations, and endless debates will never build what God has ordained. Words can be powerful weapons, but when spoken out of anger, they cut deeper than you realize. The true battle is not won by shouting across the table. It is won on your knees, in whispers of intercession that echo in the spiritual realm. When you bend in prayer before God, you rise with authority that no argument can ever provide. The enemy trembles not at your loudest yells, but at your quietest prayers. Third, learn to trust God's timing, especially in the silence. Silence is not absence, it is strategy. Picture a general in the middle of a war. Sometimes, he doesn't reveal his next move until the exact moment it's needed. God works the same way. He may not show you everything now because he's working behind the scenes, changing circumstances, healing unseen wounds, and shifting hearts in ways you cannot control. If you demand answers too quickly, you risk stepping ahead of God's perfect design. Patience is not weakness, it is a form of warfare. Waiting in faith is one of the most powerful tools you have, declaring that you trust heaven's timing over your own. And here's the revelation that should ignite your spirit. You are not fighting alone. The battle may feel heavy, but the Lord himself is fighting for you. He is not distant. He is right beside you, fighting with you, and going ahead of you. The angels of God surround those who remain faithful. The Almighty is your shield. When you lift your voice in prayer, heaven responds. When you endure instead of surrendering, you align yourself with an army that darkness cannot outnumber. So I ask you, chosen one, what story do you want your life to tell? Do you want to surrender when the battle gets tough, to walk away when the fire grows hot? Or do you want to be the warrior who fought when it was hardest, who stood when it was loneliest, who believed when it made no sense, and because of that faith, unlocked the impossible? Chosen one, the weapons are in your hands. Every prayer you release strikes against the enemy. Every blessing you speak is a seed of restoration. Every moment of patience is defiance against the forces trying to push you into quitting. Every declaration of trust is a shout into the heavens saying, I will not let go until I see what God has promised. Now, I leave you with this question. When the battle ends, when the dust settles, will your story be one of defeat or of a warrior who fought with heaven and saw the impossible bow to faith. Chosen one, in this very moment, you may be feeling overwhelmed by the weight of the struggle, the pressure of the unanswered questions, and the lingering doubts. But I need you to hear this. The journey you're on is not just a test of endurance, it is a test of revelation. The hardships you're facing are not simply obstacles, they are opportunities for you to tap into the deeper purpose God has set before you. This is the season where every challenge you face is carving a pathway to something greater, something more profound than you can imagine. Every step in the darkness, every moment of silence, is building the strength and resilience you will need for what is to come. Remember this truth: God is never absent in your struggle. He is not distant, even when you feel alone. He is closer than you think, working in ways you cannot see, moving in places you cannot touch, and preparing you for the breakthrough that is about to shift everything in your life. The process you're undergoing now is a purification, a refining of your spirit, your faith, and your destiny. The enemy wants you to believe that this struggle is pointless, that the pain has no purpose. But God is using this very season to prepare you for what's ahead. The promise is not just about what will come, but who you will become. It's in the waiting, in the enduring, in the stillness, that your true strength is revealed. You are becoming the person who will carry the weight of the promise when it arrives. Chosen one, the trials you are facing are the very tools God is using to equip you. The fire that seems so intense is not consuming you. It is refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the divine assignment that lies ahead. Do not be afraid of the process, for it is the refining fire that will reveal the fullness of your purpose. Trust that God's hand is upon you, guiding you every step of the way, and know that the victory you seek is already within reach, just waiting for you to walk into it. Stay faithful, stay strong, and trust that the season of waiting will soon give way to the season of fulfillment. Chosen one, as we come to the end of this message, let it settle in your spirit that everything you've experienced, the doubts, the struggles, the uncertainty, has not been in vain. You are not lost, nor are you behind. Every emotion you felt, every thought that has stirred inside you, every question you've whispered to the heavens, all of it has meaning. There is purpose in your process, and the journey you're on is exactly where you need to be. You are not lost. You've just been hidden for a season. What feels like silence is God preparing you for something that will outlast time. The path you are walking is aligned with the season you're in, and even though the way may seem unclear at times, trust that it is unfolding as it should. You are being held, protected, and guided. Rest in the knowledge that you are exactly where God has designed for you to be, and His timing will never fail. As we move forward, I invite you to stay in this quiet space, in the stillness that speaks louder than words. Allow this moment to settle in your heart, knowing that what is ahead for you is far greater than anything you may have imagined. I invite you to reflect, to trust, and to release everything into God's hands. In the quiet, He will speak. You are safe, you are not alone, and you are loved. Let's take this moment to breathe, to rest, and to trust in the promises that are unfolding for you. Chosen one, as you sit with the words shared today, I invite you to take a moment and write down what's on your heart in the comments below. Whether it's your hopes, your doubts, the prayers you've whispered in secret, or the questions that still linger, know that this is not just a comment. It is an act of surrender, a way of placing everything before God. He sees you, He hears you, and He is guiding you with love and care in His perfect timing. Share your heart with Him and allow His peace to surround you. Remember, you are never alone in this journey, and this moment is held in His presence and grace.